For a year, Ukrainians living in central Indiana have been organizing efforts to support their home country and teach Hoosiers about their culture. Tonight, an orchestra from Ukraine performed in Carmel, the event scheduled well before the war even began. WRTV's Nico Panisi tells us more about this evening of music and solidarity.
A standing ovation before the first note. 1 year after Russia invaded Ukraine, hundreds right here in central Indiana got a chance to listen to the Lviv National Philharmonic Orchestra of Ukraine play. Nearly 1,200 people filled the seats at the Palladium in Carmel Friday for an evening of classical music and solidarity with the war-torn country.
We're all tired. I cannot believe that we're still in this and in the thick of it, but we're hopeful that this is going to be over. We are taking it day by day.
Two local organizations, Indiana Supports Ukraine and the Ukrainian Society of Indiana, were in attendance Friday. The nonprofits shared information about Ukrainian culture and collected supplies to ship to the people living through a winter of war.
It's as terrible as we see on TV, and worse. Of course, we don't see everything that's happening.
Anya Aslanova says in the past year, ISU has sent approximately 2.5 tons of humanitarian aid to her home country. She says much of her family is still in Ukraine, and she has relatives who've even joined the military to fight for their country.
I cannot imagine what anybody feels like living in Ukraine right now and not knowing what's going to happen a minute from now.
Ilona Baylor with the Ukrainian Society feels similar.
It is horrible. Speaking to my family and friends, they're out there in the bomb shelters hiding from bombs every single day.
Baylor encourages Hoosiers to learn about Ukrainian culture.
Knowledge is power, and when you understand the history that is behind it, it's so important and makes it familiar. It's not something out there and they're fighting. It's something that you already know and you feel passionate about.
Working for you in Carmel, Nico Panisi, WRTV.
I also met with one of the leaders of the Ukrainian Society of Indiana this week. Svetlana Raymer says she lives in fear every day as the invasion continues in Ukraine. She was able to visit her mother in Kyiv in December and came back with family photos.
This is not a conversation you ever want to have. It's like, well, if the missile strikes and you guys, everything burns down, can I have some photos to take with me so that I could have some memories and records of my family's history? So it's a definitely hard conversation, but I'm really glad that I have these now.
Raymer says the first thing she does every single morning is call or message her mother and make sure that she is still alive. In Columbus, a Ukrainian woman is working to support her family and home country. Olisa Whitfield opened Olisa's Kitchen 20 years ago. Her family is still in Ukraine. Olisa says they text daily to let her know that they are okay, but she longs for the day when the war will end.
We was brothers. I never thinking then my Russian brother gonna do to my country that thing, and pray for someday in the morning wake up, and somebody say it's a finish.
Olisa is taking donations to give to the Red Cross through the weekend. You can learn more about her family's story on our website, WRTV.com.